Welcome to Tea with Lilybet. It's been nearly 2 years since I've moved into this apartment. I've spent a large portion of that time decluttering, organizing, and making my home as comfortable as possible. And I've been reaping the rewards of all of those efforts. I truly love my home and enjoy every day that I get to spend in it. However, there are still a number of spaces that need optimizing. In my last video, I mentioned that I was starting an exciting new project to detox my kitchen, and I identified some utensils that I wanted to replace. I'd been using black plastic utensils for many years, which I've since learned are particularly prone to leaking harmful chemicals into foods. So as part of my kitchen detox, I'm very keen to replace them with healthier alternatives. After doing some research, I decided on some wooden utensils which arrived this week. They're made from sustainably sourced teak and they're absolutely beautiful. This is my new setup for utensils. I haven't used the gorgeous ladle yet, but these two I've already used. I picked up this spatula later in the week, and it's really lovely actually. It's got a really nice bendy action on it. And then yesterday I found this potato masher. I wanted something that wasn't too wide at the base. This is my old one. So you can see it's pretty similar size. This is a little bit bigger. And I really like this one. It's the OXO Good Grips. I haven't actually tried to mash anything with it yet, so I'll have to let you know how that goes. But it's got this really nice gripping handle, which not all of them have. And because this isn't so wide, I can actually mash potatoes in my smallest pan, which I often end up doing. So, yeah. I am keeping the other stainless steel items and the scissors, of course, as I mentioned the last time. And then the only other one that I really want to replace is this wooden spoon. It's quite old and it's a bit chipped and starting to split a little bit, so just from a hygiene point of view, it does need to be replaced. But now that I've got these really lovely spoons, I don't want to just get any old wooden spoon. So just hang on to it for now and replace it when I can. The other thing that I did was I trialed these containers. I actually got a set of 3. This is the other one here. I'm using for popcorn at the moment. There were 5 sizes available, but I decided to test the 1.3 liter, the 900 mils, and the 550 mils. So they're the glass canister. It's that really strong, durable, thin glass. And this is a walnut lid. It's got a little silicone seal here. And it sits quite nicely on the container. It seals it. It's still reasonably easy to get the lid off. I think they're really beautiful. 2 main reasons I got them are because they are stackable and they were on sale. So I got them for like 60% off the retail, which was a great deal. They had some with glass lids as well, but I just felt that with stacking them glass on glass would be more prone to break, and the wood would have a little bit more give in it. I just thought it would be a little bit more practical for my situation because I'm going to be using it on drawers that are sliding in and out. Wood will cushion a little bit more than glass on glass would. But yeah, I've been really happy with it so far. I'm making my buckwheat blueberry pancakes this morning for breakfast. And this is the bowl that I would normally use. It's made of melamine, and I've had it for a long, long time. I've really enjoyed using it actually. It's really lightweight. It's got this rubber seal at the bottom so it really stays put. And of course mixing in it is great because it is a plastic. But now that I'm making efforts to detox my kitchen, it is time to swap this over for something else. I wanted to get something that I really liked because I just use this so often, but I also didn't want to spend a lot of money. So I settled on this beautiful chasseur mixing bowl. It's ceramic, so there's going to be no problem with any toxins going into my food. It's got a nice little pouring lip on it, which is great, a handle, so it's going to be easy to carry this around and take it down from the cupboard. So yeah, I was quite happy with this particular choice, and because it's white, it will look good with everything that I have. This morning I'm going to be using the mixing bowl for the first time to make my favorite breakfast, which is buckwheat blueberry pikelets. It's a very simple recipe. It just needs a heaped third of a cup of flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of cinnamon, 2 serves of stevia, 1 egg, a third cup of milk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence, and finally a teaspoon of olive oil. I'm using a stainless steel whisker to mix the ingredients until the batter is smooth. This is the pan that I've been using. It's a non-stick pan with a Swiss granite coating, and I have actually gone through a few of these because the coating does wear off, and I want to replace this pan with something that's healthier. I'm looking at cast iron, and I'm also considering carbon steel. But until I make the decision, I've decided just to stick with my cast iron saute pan. It's a really good quality Le Creuset cast iron pan with an enamel coating on it. Probably had it for maybe 6 or 7 years, and I've used it so much. But it's not ideal for pancakes because of the sides on the pan. It's harder to get the pancakes out, so I will want to get something that I can use specifically for my little pikelets because I make them so much. But I've decided to just trial using a cast iron pan for my pancakes in this pan to see if that's the direction I want to go, or do I want to go with the carbon steel. Because I use frozen blueberries, I like to put the batter into the pan first and then add the berries. And that allows me to control how many berries go into each pikelet. And making these pikelets also gives me the opportunity to try out the new spatula. Oh. And of course, I struggled to turn the pikelets over a little bit. And the fact that I'm finding this a bit challenging shows how much we rely on our kitchen tools and how we get used to things being a certain way. And as soon as you change anything, like your spatula, you're having to relearn how to do something simple like flipping a pikelet. I've also got the sides of the pan to deal with. And the pan heats a little bit differently to the old nonstick pan I was using. So those different elements made it a little bit more challenging for me to make this recipe. But I did cook this a few more times after I filmed this video, and it got a bit easier. So I'm sure over time I'll perfect how I make these. without the glass pantry canisters for quite a few days, I was happy enough with them to go ahead and buy the rest of the canisters that I would need while the sale was still on. To make the task a little bit more manageable, I worked in batches, moving pantry items drawer by drawer, giving each empty drawer a good clean, deciding what size container I would put each item into, then unpacking and washing and drying each canister before transferring the contents across and then putting them back into the pantry. Some things don't have much in them because I haven't shopped yet, but they will eventually. Walnuts, medium. Sultanas is medium. So those are my snacks, and once I've gone shopping, I'll be filling some of those containers up. And one of the things I'm going to be doing is trying to buy in bulk, where I can buy using paper bags or other kinds of reusable bags, so that I can avoid plastic wrapping in the purchase as well, where possible. I did forget about the oats. They're going in there as well. And then, of course, the chocolate, which will go along the side. Back there. I think just for the aesthetics, I'm going to swap these around. So these higher ones at the back. Definitely doesn't go there. I think that looks pretty good. No, it doesn't exactly belong here, but there's no other place for it to go at the moment. So until I figure something else out, it's going to have to go in this spot. I've forgotten just how much work is involved in swapping over to a different pantry system. Not only are you making a lot of decisions about how you want to store your items, but it's also a lot of physical labor, moving things around, washing and drying the new canisters and the lids, and then having to clean the old canisters as well. So by the end of the day, I was really feeling like I'd had enough of doing this and had to remind myself why I am swapping over my canisters in the first place. Before I introduced an organizational system into my food storage, I had a very disorganized pantry, and it was very difficult for me to find the items that I needed. I was rebuying things that I already had and allowing other items to become expired before I used them simply because I didn't know they were there. So introducing the Sistema plastic containers was life-changing for me, and I'm so grateful I could do that. At the time, my priorities were to have containers that were really easy to grip, lightweight, and clear so that I could easily see what was inside. I wasn't really considering the fact that I was putting my food into plastic. But despite that, I still feel like I got some benefit from putting my food into an organizational system. At this point in my life, I really want to reduce my exposure to plastic, especially for any foods that are heated and foods that are sitting for long periods of time in containers. So it seems like a logical step to move to glass. No storage system is going to be completely perfect, and of course there's always a risk with glass for breakages, so I wanted to get a system where I would be able to replace individual items. And I did check with the store. They will be stocking these items on an ongoing basis. I did also consider using jars, which would be a very sustainable way to implement a food storage system. But the problem for me is that I have this vertical storage and I need to be able to stack things. So I wanted something that would be stackable. But I will need to supplement with jars. So my plan is to reuse jars as much as possible for storage in the fridge as well as the pantry. Got one little problem that I need to solve, and that is that the chocolate was supposed to go into one of these. That's where it should go. Unless I decide to just get less and put it into a smaller container, which I could do, but it won't solve the problem because I still don't have enough space for everything. Unless I decide to move the garlic out. But where will it go? I have no idea. But I will take it out. And that means these ones can come forward. And I have enough room for it all. I'm still wondering if I should be keeping the chocolate in here or I'll buy a smaller quantity. I could just get the 500 grams. Just leave it as is for now. I like the fact that the coffees are a little bit lower here. It blocks the light when I open the drawer. You don't generally put coffee in see-through glass. So yeah, that's looking pretty good, that drawer. So this drawer that I use for my spices and for my vitamins is probably where the garlic is going to have to go because the garlic is spice. So I'm going to take everything out and clean it, even though I don't feel like doing this now.
Searching for something that ain't lost. Have we got our lines crossed? We're wasting time on stuff that doesn't really matter, while wishing for something better. I try to fix things that weren't broken, misunderstandings and words unspoken. We fall apart and I won't dare to say, do you feel the same way? Maybe you don't wanna know, but you don't see what you have in front of you. Or maybe I'm not enough for you, so maybe I should go. If I had known from the start, this wouldn't have ended with broken hearts. 'Cause I don't wanna waste my time. Same way, then don't pretend that everything's okay. Don't string me along the way you do. Just let me get over you. Maybe you don't wanna know, but you don't see what you have in front of you. Or maybe I'm not enough for you. This wouldn't have ended with broken hearts. 'Cause I don't wanna waste my time. No.
So now I want to add some items on the top here. And I am a little bit worried about it because they could slip a bit. It's my cinnamon that I use all the time. So I need to find one that's really stable. And my baking powder, which I also use all the time. Now, I think the other way is better. And corn flour, go here. coconut flour. Yeah. I just have to be a bit careful about opening and closing this because these slide around. These could just tip and fall onto the next shelf and break. I think I'm going to put some sticky mats underneath. I might even have some left over from some other tasks that I've done in the house. So I'll just be careful for now when I open and close them. You may recall from previous videos that I use the top two pull-out drawers for storage items, bulk items that I use to refill the canisters that are in the lower drawers. And I've also included some items that I put into the recycled jars. This lower shelf has got a bit of space for some additional items. As I shop and buy in bulk, items can sit up here. So that's my pantry done. I'll be revisiting this bottom drawer when I'm ready to look at those plastic containers and swap them over for some new ones. This is my snack drawer here. I've got lots of healthy snacks in here, things like nuts and seeds, dates, sultanas, oats, tapioca beads, popcorn, and a few spreads like almond butter and peanut butter. And I've got a space at the front for fresh food that doesn't need to be refrigerated, such as potatoes and sweet potatoes, and of course, bananas. Spices and supplements. I'm thrilled that I got the garlic and the mortar and pestle in here. That's all the tea and coffee. All my sweeteners at the front there. Really good. This is one of my main pantry drawers here. It's got the things that I use almost every day. Flours, grains. Yeah, this is going to be an important drawer for me to use. And the salt and pepper at the front with the olive oil and the apple cider vinegar. Coconut oil, sesame oil. It's all looking really good. One of the issues I'm going to have to contend with is getting a proper grip on things before I lift them up, especially down here. Might just have to remind myself to use two hands. This particular drawer isn't great for these lower ones, for these medium and smaller sizes. So that's going to be interesting. I'm going to have to get used to how I grip these and take them out so that I don't let my hands slip and drop them. Place is a huge mess. I stopped and had some dinner and haven't cleaned that up yet. Those are all of the old containers that need to be washed. And then there's more containers and mess over here. Olive has been the best girl today, being so patient and waiting while I've been doing all of this. She's really tired because she was at doggy daycare yesterday and played with dogs for hours. So it was probably the perfect day to do this, but she really needs to go out for a little walk. I'm so exhausted. It was such a huge amount of work to get through today. I've just forgotten how labor intensive this kind of thing is because I haven't done it for so long. So I'm going to have a little break, take Olive for a potty run, and then come back and tidy all of this up. Thank you for joining me for this video. I hope that you enjoyed seeing how I've been detoxing my kitchen and introducing a few new utensils and the pantry storage containers. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.